Hi, I'm Michael, and this is California. And we got such a strong response to our P-EBT video that we're going to make another video going over SNAP and food stamp changes, as well as new benefits as a part of the program in response to the pandemic. So today we're going to talk about those new changes, some of the restrictions that have been eased, as well as go over your questions from our P-EBT video previously. Now, before we do that, if you like this information, if you find it useful, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. So first, let's talk about SNAP, how it changed and why it changed. So Congress passed something called the Families First Act, and that allowed the USDA, so the Department of Agriculture, the people who manage the SNAP program, to make changes temporarily to help out Americans who are hit hardest by the pandemic. So they were able to temporarily suspend some eligibility rules, temporarily create new programs in response to the pandemic, and temporarily increase benefits for those folks who are currently on SNAP. Now, it's not all going to be the same for every state, so I'll leave a chart below that shows the different states and the different programs that they accept, and so you can look at your state and figure out if your state has the same or all or some of the programs that we're going to talk about today. But that's important to look at because those benefits are definitely going to be increased for those of you who live in states that have accepted these programs. So let's talk about the first biggest change to the SNAP program. And essentially what it is more money for families. So now under this new regime, they're able to max out the amount of money for a household on a yearly basis. So let's take a look at the chart here. So SNAP works on two things. It works on folks' family size, how many people in your family, and how much money you make a year. Now, normally, the max amount of money that someone can get is, for example, a household of 3 is at $509 per year. That's the yearly amount. Now, you can see here in the next column, the average amount of money that someone receives is $378, and that's because they have some income. And that, whatever that income is, they're going to take a portion of that income and subtract it from the maximum amount and say you can afford some of your own groceries. So the big change that's going to happen now as a result of the pandemic is that they are going to max out everyone's benefit based on household size regardless of income. So for example, a household of 3 people, if they were getting the 378 because they had some income, now they're going to get the full 509. Or if you look at a household of 5 people, so maybe 2 parents and 3 kids, that's they'll get the max of 768. And it goes up as you have more people and it goes down as you have less people. So the important part of this is that for folks who were not getting the full amount because they had some income, they are now going to see the full amount for their SNAP benefits. Now, the downside to this is those folks who were already at the maximum amount, they're not going to see any additional money. So there's not going to be additional money for folks who already were at that maximum level. But for those folks who weren't at the maximum level because they had income or other resources, now it's going to be maxed out. Now, that doesn't mean there's not other benefits. So we're going to talk about the P-EBT card again and go over how that can actually help some of those folks who are maxed out already. So let's talk about P-EBT. So this is not going to be the questions and answers. That's going to be at the end. This is just going to be a brief overview of P-EBT and how it works. So P-EBT is a secondary EBT card as a result of the pandemic. So lots of kids are out of school right now because everything's on lockdown. So SNAP is going to send these cards out to kids who would normally start getting their food at the school. So they get the free lunch or they get reduced lunch. And if you have children who have free lunch or reduced lunch, you should automatically receive a P-EBT card in the mail by May 22nd. Now, if you have not received it yet, then you will be able to apply after May 22nd up until June 30th. And I'll put the link below to apply. In fact, on Friday, we are going to do a walkthrough for the application. And what the P-EBT card does, it's going to essentially give you up to $365 for every child that you have for the months of March, April, May, and June to help pay for the food costs as a result of them being home and running around and eating all day. Now, the state of California, for example, estimates they're going to send out $1.4 billion to 3,823,000 children for the months of March through June through this program. So if you think you're eligible or you think you should be eligible, take a look at our video on Friday about how to apply if you have not got your card already. So let's talk about the next biggest temporary change to SNAP, which is primarily for adults. So we got a lot of questions on our P-EBT video about what are some of the changes for adults. So the biggest one is that they are waiving the number of month limitation that adults can get SNAP. So for example, if you're an adult and you don't have any children and you're able-bodied, previously, you could only get a maximum of 3 months of SNAP for every 3 years. Now, with this waiver, because of the additional resources from the Family First Act, now adults who don't have any children and are able to work are able to get SNAP for unlimited amounts of months up to 1 month after the pandemic has been declared over. So as long as you meet the income guidelines, you'll be able to get SNAP up until 1 month after the pandemic is over. And this is great news for a lot of adults out there who are hurting right now. Obviously, they're not working, they're on lockdown, and they need additional food. And so this is going to be a great expansion to help those folks right now get their food and not have a limit on it of only just 3 months, but up until everything opens back up and everyone gets back to work. All right, so the last temporary change we're going to talk about to SNAP before we get to questions and answers is a pilot program that allows EBT and SNAP recipients to purchase their foods online. So they can get it delivered either via Amazon or Walmart. Those are the primary two places that you can get it. And what it would allow you to do is use your EBT card to get specific foods from Amazon and Walmart delivered to your house, especially if you are uncomfortable with leaving or you're unable to leave your house. Now, the downside of this program is the delivery fees or any convenience fees would not be included in the SNAP payment. So that'd be something you'd have to pay on your own. But if you're unable to leave the house, if you're uncomfortable leaving the house, being able to purchase it and have those groceries delivered to you is a great new benefit that is going to be available for folks who are on SNAP and EBT. All right, so let's do questions and answers from our P-EBT video. We got a great response from everybody with a lot of questions, a lot of interest in the P-EBT. So let's talk about some of those questions we got and get through some of those answers. So the first one is from Jennifer Hernandez. It says, how do you activate the P-EBT card? I received mine today, but I'm not sure how to get the PIN number. So there's a couple ways you can do that. First of all, there should be a letter with the card that has instructions on how to get your PIN number, how to set up that PIN. If you are unable to do so or you didn't get the letter, then you can reach out to the customer service line at 877-328-9677. And they can walk you through that process. It is 24 hours a day, so you get the automated one, but if you get a person, they could probably walk you through that process. The next one is for, and I'll put that number down below. All right, so the next one is for Tana Vanoy. What about old people? They need help with food. So I'm guessing you're talking about adults and seniors as well. And unfortunately, at the moment, there is not a P-EBT program specifically for adults or for seniors. The program is primarily for kids who are on reduced or free lunch. Now, hopefully they make a change to that because there's a lot of folks out there who need the extra help, as Tana said. But right now, the program is just for kids. Now, there are those other additional benefits that we talked about earlier in the video, but P-EBT, not yet. All right, next is Yesenia Rodriguez. She says, if my kids are receiving medi-cal, are they eligible or do we have to apply to get the P-EBT? And so, again, if your kids are already on reduced or free lunch, then they should be automatically enrolled in the P-EBT card program, and you should get that card by May 22nd, which is Friday. If you do not get that card, or if they're not enrolled in those programs, you should definitely still apply. So after Friday, and in fact on Friday, we're going to do a walkthrough video for the application. You can apply for the P-EBT card, and the worst they can say is no. But if you can get the benefit, then you'll have a lot of extra resources to help feed those kids right now. So that's good. All right, White Cloud Valencia. So is it a one-time $365 per child? Also, if I'm getting food stamps, do I get a new card for each child? So let's take that in reverse. So first, you should be getting a new P-EBT card for each child. And as far as the lump sum, it's not a one-time lump sum. It's actually spread out over the months of March, April, May, and June. So for example, per child, you should get in March $68. For April, you should get $120. In May, you should get $120. And then in June, $57 per child. So it's spread out. It's not all one lump sum, but you can save it on that card for up to 1 year. So you don't have to use it right now. You can actually use it up to 1 year later. And then lastly, Alex Aguilar. Hola, una pregunta. La tarjeta tiene el nombre de mi hijo. Cuando vaya a la tienda, tengo que llevarlo a él. So, no tiene que tener su hijo con usted cuando ir a la tienda. Solo tiene que tener la tarjeta y usar el PIN para comprar la comida. No tiene que tener su hijo con usted. Thank you so much for watching our video. I hope that you found it interesting or helpful or at least useful. And if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can get updates when our newest and most informative videos become available. Also, if you have any comments, you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. We love your comments and questions and we'll write answers to them or make a new video or make a new post as soon as we can. Now, also, we here at California, we know health insurance. So whether it's private health insurance or Covered California or Medicare or Medicaid or Medi-cal, or even health insurance for a small group, we know health insurance. And for everyone here in California, our services are 100% free. Because I know it can be very frustrating going out of your work insurance and having to get private insurance. Or if you're turning 65, trying to figure out what are your best Medicare options. That is exactly what we can do. We can help you walk through the different plans, look at the benefits, look at the cost, and figure out which one fits your need best. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to leave a comment and we'll be happy to answer those questions as well. Now, other than that, I'm Michael and this is California, wishing you a happy, healthy day.